Hello and welcome everyone to today's Pathways to the Honors Bachelor of Interdisciplinary Studies webinar. My name is June Allison. I'm the Inbound Academic Pathways Coordinator in the Academic Pathways Office at Seneca, and I'll also be guiding us through today's presentation. So joining me is Natalie George, Program Coordinator of the INS degree, who is on hand to share some program insights and expertise throughout today's presentation. So just a quick overview of our agenda for today. We're going to chat a bit more about why you should consider a Seneca degree. We'll talk about the INS degree in more detail and why it might be right for you. Of course, we'll talk about the available pathways into INS, and we'll chat more about eligibility requirements and course exemptions. We will highlight an exciting scholarship opportunity that's open to diploma graduates pursuing a degree at Seneca. We'll give you some more information about how you would apply for a pathway to INS. And then we'll also take your questions at the end. So throughout the presentation, if questions come to mind, definitely pop those in the chat. And when Natalie and I are finished the presentation, we will get to those questions. So first, let me tell you a little bit about the Seneca Polytechnic difference. Seneca's Polytechnic education is for all types of students, whether you're starting, advancing, or changing careers. We combine practical learning, industry connections, and flexible pathways to help every student succeed. So what does that look like in practice? Let's take a closer look at our degree programs. Our degrees are career focused and aligned with the labor market. Professors are industry professionals who bring real world knowledge and connections into the classroom. Smaller class sizes mean personalized learning, and you're never just a number. Every Seneca degree program includes at least one mandatory work integrated learning term, giving hands-on experience that you can add to your resume. And then, of course, our honors degree graduates are eligible to pursue master's and graduate studies programs. Our team offers our annual Grad Studies Expo, where you'd have the chance to connect with institutions that offer graduate studies, to see what programs they offer and how you might be eligible once you've completed a degree program. So together, these features will prepare you to succeed in the degree and the job market. So now that you've seen what makes Seneca Polytechnic unique, let's look at how we guide students along their educational journey. This is where academic pathways come in. An academic pathway is a formal agreement that allows you to complete a degree quicker using your existing Ontario college diploma. The Academic Pathways team offers a range of support to help students continue their education, including application guidance, virtual advisement appointments, information sessions, and pathway events. Seneca offers pathway opportunities into our own programs, as well as at partner institutions beyond Seneca. As the #1 college in transfer pathways, we're proud to work with a wide network of partner institutions in the GTA, across Canada, and internationally. So before we dive into the INS degree in more detail, I wanted to highlight our Newnham campus where this degree program is offered. Newnham is a major educational hub located at Finch Avenue East and Highway 404 in Toronto. At this campus, you will find programs in business, hospitality, information technology, fashion, engineering, and more. The campus has undergone some major builds and enhancements over the last few years. One of the biggest additions is a Center for Innovation, Technology, and Entrepreneurship, or SITE as it's commonly called. With 274,000 square feet of space over 5 stories, it brings together state-of-the-art technology with classroom space. Okay, so let's pass things over to Natalie to hear more about the INS degree program.
Thank you so much, June. I did see just a comment in the chat just a second ago indicating that the sound was a little bit low. So I want to make sure you guys can hear me okay. Can I get
Yes,
some
definitely.
thumbs? You're okay? All right. So if anyone is individually having issues with sound, you may need to check your own settings, or I often find when I wear my headphones that life gets a little bit easier. But hopefully the majority of people can hear me as is. And I'm just going to barrel ahead here. So to tell you a little bit more about interdisciplinary studies, I'm one of the two coordinators. My partner does normally do these presentations, so bear with me if I don't have the spiel down quite yet. But what I can tell you is that INS ends up being a really wonderful choice for people that really want to make the most out of a previous diploma, moving into the world of a degree. We acknowledge the professional skill, the unique disciplinary perspective that you already have with your existing diploma. And as such, we're able to really pathway you into advanced standing in INS. And so we take that professional knowledge from your existing diploma, and then we add in that interdisciplinary perspective, that kind of breadth of knowledge to really make you an incredible candidate for future opportunities, both in your career or ongoing post-grad studies. And so we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go. To give you a snapshot here, just on the next slide, if we can look at the map of courses that you would end up taking if you were to pathway into the INS program, you would actually be able to join us all the way up in fifth semester. So these are some of the courses you can see. What you would have is you would actually have gotten credit for semesters 1 to 4. That's a lot of credit. It's a block transfer of 20 credits, acknowledging the disciplinary work that you've already done. And then in the remaining 2021, depending on if we count the work term prep as a full course, some people say 20, some people say 21. Ultimately, those remaining courses are going to be where you get to explore disciplines like the humanities, social sciences, science further, but also in the later semesters, in semester 7 and 8, everything is interdisciplinary, really bringing it together. So it's not just multidisciplinary, it's interdisciplinary, really being able to draw on different types of knowledge to work toward goals, to work toward problem solving, to work towards really interesting research projects, and to apply it to your work term. So there is a work term, which you can see highlighted in green. Typically, we encourage students to take that between semesters 6 and 7. However, INS is a very flexible program, so this is something that we can discuss. You can certainly take courses out of order, and within reason, you can move the work term around a little bit as well. Some of the courses that I would just highlight here that our students have found really kind of new and exciting in the last couple of years are courses that do focus on things like ethics and social responsibility, sustainability. These are things that we find our partners out in the workforce really like to see. They like to see that we have students coming out of degrees with these human skills, these really kind of current, prominent priorities. We also have leadership courses, change leadership as well as leadership for managers. These are really relevant for people who are looking to go straight into the workforce in particular, really wanting to advance career goals. And so while all of our courses are fabulous and are going to strengthen your communication skills, your critical thinking skills, your research, ultimately, these are just a few that I want to highlight that have been kind of special to people in the last couple of years. And now some other special opportunities that the program offers. If we can go on to the next slide here, you'll see there are also global opportunities. So in addition to the wonderful courses that you can take in-house, some students actually do choose to go abroad. And so we actually have opportunities for a semester exchange in South Korea or Japan, where we have institutions that we have already got established partnerships with. I have a student in South Korea right now, actually having a great time. And so if that was something you were interested in, just bear that in mind. The Global Opportunities team at Seneca could certainly tell you more about that. I will highlight there is some financial support available to offset the cost of that travel. The tuition remains the same. That's paid directly to Seneca. And so students who have done this have found it to be a really incredible opportunity to go see a part of the world that they might not otherwise have been able to while continuing to work toward their studies. And so here is a photo of our former student, Miguel, who was on exchange in South Korea doing his semester abroad at Dankook University. So here we go. Another student that we just want to highlight. I actually think probably in the future I'll add an even more recent example because I guess we're getting a little dated here. My script says to refer to this as a recent grad, but I don't know how recent 2018 feels to us these days. 2019. Still, Lee is a wonderful example of a student who went on to do postgraduate studies. So for anyone who's thinking, I want to move from a diploma into a degree, because actually I might be interested in a master's, maybe even ultimately a PhD if you're feeling fancy, INS is a great step toward those goals. Lee also spoke about how meaningful INS was for him in getting involved at Seneca. So in addition to really appreciating the program, the research skills, the breadth of knowledge, as a stepping stone towards his master's at U of T, where he went on to study information technology, information science. He also was a Smile mentor. That was really meaningful to him. So coming to INS, staying at Seneca, it becomes this really wonderful opportunity to remain connected to such a wonderful community, and also supports you in your academic and career goals. So Lee is a wonderful success story. More recently, I've also just gotten an email from a student who just got into a master's at Simon Fraser. And I know of another student that is finishing a master's and moving into a PhD through TMU in York. There's kind of a partnership there. So just a few things to keep in mind. Would that be one of your goals?
Perfect. Thank you so much, Natalie, for providing that overview. And of course, you'll be on hand to answer any program-specific questions that some of our attendees might have. So continuing on, another important support that our team wanted to highlight is the financial assistance available to students continuing from a diploma into a degree at Seneca Polytechnic. So Seneca offers the Diploma to Degree Scholarship, which is a one-time award of $2,500 for graduates of a Canadian diploma program entering a Seneca degree with a minimum incoming GPA of 75% or a 3.3. This award is available to both domestic and international students who have completed a Canadian diploma program and is open regardless of pathway eligibility. So students who meet the eligibility requirements can apply for this scholarship through Student Home once they are enrolled full-time in the degree at Seneca. If you've got questions about this particular scholarship, you need some clarification around the application process, or if you'd like to explore other awards and bursary options that might be available to you as a Seneca student, we encourage you to visit the Financial Aid Office website where you will find all of those resources. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the pathway. So Natalie gave a little bit of information in her slide. So this opportunity is open to Ontario College diploma graduates, and you would be able to complete your Honors Bachelor of Interdisciplinary Studies degree in as little as 2 years. So to be eligible, students must have graduated from any 2 or 3 year Ontario College diploma program with a minimum GPA of 65% or a 2.5. Graduates are eligible to start semester 5 of the INS degree in the fall, winter, or summer. So there's intakes all year round, which is also really helpful. So the chart on this slide just outlines the number of credits that you are eligible for. So you're eligible for a block of 20 credits, your semester entry option, and the number of semesters remaining to complete the degree based on a full course load. So like Natalie touched on, eligible diploma grads will get 20 credits and will be required to successfully complete 21 courses. That does include that work term prep course over 4 academic semesters. In addition to the required number of semesters, as mentioned, students will be required to complete 1 work integrated learning term in order to graduate. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about a process that's a little bit newish at Seneca for students who may have prior or current work experience in their field of study. You might be able to submit a prior learning assessment and recognition application to have that work recognized, so that you don't need to complete another work term in your degree. This is a process that's facilitated by Seneca's Transfer Credit and PLAR office. They suggest that if you're going to apply, that you submit your application at least 1 semester before you're scheduled to take WTP 200, which is that work term preparation class. So there's a QR code here on this screen that you can scan that will take you right to the PLAR webpage. You can find all the information about submitting an application, the documentation you require, information around deadlines. There's a really good FAQ section for common questions. And then, of course, there's also a separate page that's dedicated to students who have work experience that are looking to PLAR their will term. So take a look at that information, read it all carefully. But if you have any questions or if there's anything you need clarified about that process, definitely connect with our Transfer Credit and PLAR team. You can send them an email through the Service Hub, and they will get back to you right away. So eligible diploma grads are also invited to complete this degree on a part-time basis through Seneca's Part-Time Studies Department. It's a great option for working professionals who would benefit from evening and weekend studies. The part-time program is also open to graduates of a 2 or 3 year Ontario College diploma with a graduating GPA of 65% or a 2.5. You can even complete the remaining courses online, which is really helpful. So you can visit the Part-Time Studies webpage. They do virtual information sessions periodically, so you might want to consider registering for that when they're available to get more information about the part-time INS program. So if you're ready to apply for the INS degree and take the next step toward that program, here's what the application process looks like. If you're a current Seneca student or a graduate, the application process is pretty straightforward. You've got the option to apply online through your student home account, or you can complete and submit the Diploma to Seneca Degree Pathways Transfer form by email to the Service Hub. There's no fee to apply as a Seneca student, and you're not required to submit your official Seneca transcript, as our admissions team will be able to access a copy of it. If you're a graduate of a Seneca diploma program and meet that GPA requirement, you would be given an offer of admission. If you're a current student finishing up your diploma, we would suggest that you submit your application when you start your final semester of your diploma program for a conditional offer. So the conditions of that offer would be that by the time you're due to start the INS degree through the pathway, that you will have graduated from your Seneca diploma and met that required GPA of 2.5. If you are a student currently completing or have graduated from a diploma program at another Ontario college, you would apply in one of two ways. If you're a domestic applicant, you would apply online through ontariocolleges.ca, otherwise known as OCAS. When you're completing your application, it's important to select degree completion as your entry semester. So that lets our admissions team know that you've completed a diploma credential and you're looking to be admitted to an upper level of the degree through the pathway. If you're an international applicant, you would apply using Seneca's international online application, which is available on the International Admissions webpage. Once you've submitted your application, you can follow up with your admissions advisor through the Service Hub to confirm your pathway eligibility and to let them know that you're applying for upper level entry. Both domestic and international applicants who have completed or are completing their college program from another college, you would have to submit your official transcript as part of your application process. It's a really important piece. There's no hard deadline to apply to a program at Seneca. As long as there's still space in that program, applications may be considered up until 4 days after classes begin. However, if possible, we do suggest applying as early as possible. So like I said, if you're finishing up your diploma program now, you can apply when you enter your final semester of your diploma. So Ontario College Diploma grads who are interested in pursuing the part-time INS degree program can find out how to apply by reviewing the part-time program webpage. There's a little bit of a different application. They have their own internal application form that you would apply through. Again, if you're a Seneca student, you don't need to worry about submitting your Seneca transcript, but if you are coming from another Ontario college, then an official transcript will need to be submitted as part of your application. If you're interested in the part-time INS degree program and you've got some questions about the application or program-specific questions about the part-time program, you can connect with Rosemary. She's the academic program manager for the part-time INS degree, and we've got her information on the slide here. So students are encouraged to review our inbound transfer guide, which you can find on the Academic Pathways webpage to review the full pathway details that we have discussed today. The guide also includes some PDF documents called a block map and a completion plan. A block map will show you which degree courses you'll receive credit for in the program based on your incoming credential. And then the completion plan will outline the courses that you have left and sort of the optimal order of completion. But as Natalie alluded to, there is a bit of flexibility with that completion plan as well. There's a QR code here on the left-hand side. If you wanted to go straight to our guide, you just have to scan that and it will take you there. And then the second QR code we have here is to our virtual pathways advisement booking system. So our team, about 3 to 4 days a week, we do virtual one-on-one 30-minute virtual advising appointments so we can talk about this particular pathway in more detail. If you want to talk about other potential pathway options, we can also do that as well. So you can make an appointment first by making an account using that booking system with any email address you prefer, and then you'll be able to see our availability to book an appointment with our team. So that about wraps up the key information about the pathways to INS, the information about the degree program itself, as well as some supports that are available to help you succeed. If you have any questions about the pathway or the application process, as I mentioned, definitely reach out to our team, make an appointment. Otherwise, you can just send us an email, you can call us. We're super responsive by email, so you'll probably hear back from us in a couple days. You can also follow us on social media to stay up to date on new pathways and upcoming pathway events that our team is hosting. And then for more program-specific questions, you can connect directly with the program area. So I've got Natalie's contact here, and we've got Rosemary, who, as I said, is the program manager for the part-time INS degree. So any questions about those, curriculum, the work term, things like that, and careers, maybe you can reach out to one of them, and they'd be certainly more than happy to assist you. So with that, I think we will open up things to our attendees. Definitely put your questions in the chat and we'll get to those. And it looks like we have one from Arslan. Hi, Arslan. So we've mentioned INS grads have options to pursue master's degrees. Can you give some specific examples of type of master's degrees the students did after INS? Natalie, do you have
Over
some
to me.
students? Yes, over to you.
Yeah, I actually, do you know what? I was trying to sort of rack my brain this morning thinking this question may very well come up. I wish I could remember what our beloved recent grad is taking at Simon Fraser. Simon Fraser, obviously being out on the West Coast, is not a common choice for our students. So I'm not as familiar with their programs. I don't remember what master's program it is that she ended up taking. More close to home, there is a partnership program between TMU and York that is actually a Master's of Communication and Culture. We've had a couple of students go there. I've got another student right now quite interested in applying to that one. Of course, we saw Lee, who went to U of T for a Master in Information Science. We actually have also had a student who went over to the University of Western Ontario, where he was actually in like earth sciences. His focus as he went on and later, I believe he's still currently finishing a PhD, is more sort of meteorological. He came to us out of an aviation program. So that's one of the really cool things about INS is that because everyone comes in with a different diploma, a different initial interest, and then INS just sort of rounds them out as a candidate, people really do go in all kinds of different directions. We have students who express interest in going on to teachers college. I will say for pathway students, that will work primarily for those interested in teaching in the elementary level. At the high school level, you have to have enough specific credits in specific areas to have teachables. If that's you, talk to me. I'll help you understand that. If it's not you, I don't want to bore you to tears. And also I did make a note, one of the, is he a chair or a dean? One of the leaders of another program right here at home at Seneca, over in our aviation program, Michael, he's actually an INS grad, who then went on and he did a master's related to aviation and then another master's out of U of T in education, and specifically in adult education and education administration. So great examples really close to home, from TMU, York, U of T. I currently also have some students that are looking into business programs in particular. Since we've made some of our courses a little more robust in the business area, we're seeing a little bit more interest in that direction, and they're looking good. They're looking like nice, strong candidates. I hope that
Wow,
answers your question. I
that
rambled.
yeah, that's fantastic. That's really exciting to hear what your students have gone on to do. We also have a section on our academic pathways page called Success Beyond, where we often profile students who have gone through a pathway. So a lot of them are just talking about moving from a diploma to a degree, but then there's definitely a few sprinkled in there who have moved from a degree at Seneca to master's studies. So I think there might be a couple INS grads in there as well. So definitely take a look at that. And then, as I mentioned earlier, we have our Graduate Studies Expo coming up too. So that's a great opportunity for students, even if you're still in your diploma, you don't have to be in a degree to register for any of those sessions. And it's just a chance to see, some of our partner institutions, what master studies they offer, what the admission requirements are. It's a great opportunity for you to ask questions about the types of degrees that they're looking for when they're admitting students into their graduate studies program. So definitely check that out. I'm going to put up the event page so that students can begin registering for those if anything sort of sticks out in your mind, it is interesting to you. So just bear with me for 1 second. I'll put that in
I
the
want to
chat
come to
box.
that.
Yeah, it's a great
Um,
opportunity for
yeah.
sure.
I do see, just while you're pasting that,
Hmm.
June, I do see another question from Ashley. So
Hmm.
your Ashley here is looking at taking a 60% course load, which is absolutely an INS. We're so flexible that way. In terms of which courses you're going to select, when you enroll in the program, we'll actually send out information about what the sort of typically recommended courses are. And you just keep an eye on things that might have prerequisites, but otherwise, we actually let students take things kind of as it works for their schedules, as it works for their interests. So you would essentially pick whichever three you want. You are welcome to reach out to me directly for some advice. There are a couple that I would prioritize if it were me. And so absolutely, please email me. My email's on that contact slide. Happy to give you those pointers. And in terms of whether or not you have to let us know if you're coming in person or not, our program is flex. So that means on any given day, you can show up in person, online on Zoom, or if you can't make it to the live class at all, you can watch the recording later. So every single class, every single week, you have that opportunity. You don't need to RSVP.
Perfect. That's great. Thank you. We had another question from Arslan about
Yeah.
for Seneca recent grads from diploma programs, what are the timelines to qualify for being recent? From what we've seen, it's pretty open because this program is really open to any Ontario College diploma graduate. So, I mean, we've had people that graduated like 20 years ago reach out actually pretty recently, and it was determined, yeah, you know what? They graduated from an Ontario College diploma. They meet the GPA requirements, so they're welcome to apply and they are eligible. So, I mean, yeah, definitely people who have been out working for a long time after they might have completed their diploma. I think they're definitely still eligible to apply for sure, as long as they meet those that GPA requirement. So it's pretty flexible that way too.
I
All
did
right,
see
let's.
Arslan as well. You were
Oh,
asking if there was an advantage between the 3-year versus 2-year diploma. And there's not because 20 is the maximum amount of block credits that we can give regardless. So if you went on and you did the advanced diploma, love that you have that additional knowledge. But we've already given the max number of transfer credits. So it wouldn't, or block transfer credits. So it wouldn't make a difference for our purposes.
perfect. Thank you. Another question about the part-time. If you take the part-time route online, how long would it take to complete the program to complete the degree? It's sort of difficult to say. Part of the beauty of part-time is, maybe you're working full-time during the day and you just think, you know what, maybe just a couple courses at once every semester is the most I can handle with everything else on in my life, and that's perfectly fine. So obviously, that's going to either extend the time that you're taking to finish it. Maybe you're okay with taking 4 or 5 courses in the evenings at one time, and obviously that's going to help you finish it a lot quicker. So for part-time, it's a bit more difficult to say how long it will take you to finish. It's the ball's kind of in your court if you take that path. So hopefully that helped answer your question. No problem, Arslan.
And there is no, one of the cool things with INS is that because we're not, I'm not teaching you cutting edge AI or nursing practices that are going to change in 2 years. It is such a sort of stable, well-rounded program. We don't have a hard and fast deadline for when you need to finish. If it takes you 10 years to do the INS degree, cool. Take 10 years. If you
Perfect.
want to overload your schedule and you want to do it in a year and a half, I've had students do that. They were very
Wow.
stressed, but I've had them do it.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, as we said, the ball's kind of in your court. Could be quicker, it could be a bit longer. It's totally up to you and what works best for you. Don't think I missed any questions. I
Just
think we
doing a
got
quick
everything.
scan too.
Yeah,
I
just
think we're
yeah,
okay.
absolutely.
Great questions, you guys. It's always hard to
Absolutely.
cover everything in these presentations, so really, really appreciate you getting into some of the detail there.
Yes, for sure. So yeah, I think if you've got any specific questions about the pathway details that you just want to clarify, for sure make an appointment with our team, call us, email us. We can definitely
Mhm.
help. Anything really specific about the INS degree, about the courses themselves, the content of those courses. As Natalie said, maybe the courses you want to focus on first if you're kind of mixing up your order of completion a little bit. Those types of things, definitely reach out to the academic area, Natalie or Rosemary are in the part-time studies department, because they're definitely the experts in that area and can help you with those questions. So thank you, everybody, for attending today. I hope you got something out of this presentation. And I hope that we will see you in the INS degree in future. And thank you
Mhm.
as well, Natalie, for being here too and providing your expertise. We always appreciate the support of the academic areas with this event. We
Oh,
appreciate
thank you
it.
so much. We're a huge pathway, so we rely on you guys very heavily. Really appreciate you guys coming
We're
out and
all
doing
really
these.
good friends. We're all
Yeah.
really good friends. Yes, for sure. All right, amazing. And I should mention too that this is being recorded. We're going to put the link to the recording up on the event page where you would have registered for this session, probably in about a week or so. And we're also going to send an email out to every diploma student to let them know that they're available for you to watch on your own time. So you can do that if you wanted to take another look. All right. And with that, we will wrap it up. Have a great rest of your day, everybody, and a great weekend. We're almost there. Talk to you all soon. Bye for now.
Thanks, everyone.